Let sleeping Borgs lie. I couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, so I just watched episode 12 of season 1 of Star Trek Prodigy. I consider this season 2 of Star Wars Prodigy because the show is more like a Star Wars show. It doesn't really resemble Star Trek. There's no Starfleet. There's no humans. It's the first 10 episodes were actually kind of good. I like the characters, I like the stories, I like the animation. The last episode was fine, but this episode was just baffling. They stumble across a Borg cube, just deactivated, just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and they decide that they can find out somehow how to deactivate, what was it called? The living construct, which is the weapon against Starfleet. Any Starfleet technology, ship, space station, anything they encounter will basically be destroyed by this device, which was created by Gwen's father in the future. So it's future tech. They can't disable it. They can't turn it off. They can't destroy it. And they can't interact with Starfleet without destroying it. So, I mean, they can interact with other aliens and other species and go around the universe helping people and saving people and having adventures, but they can't resolve their issues with Starfleet and be in contact with Starfleet. So that's the situation they're in, and they think, well, if we go on the Borg cube, somehow the Borg will know something about future technology, or it doesn't make any sense why they go on the ship. It doesn't make any sense except they just want to have an episode where they encounter the Borg. And this Borg is unlike it's inconsistent with the rest of the Borg in all the rest of Star Trek, including Picard, because there's no queen. It's like the Borg of the early Next Generation, which actually makes it a little bit more scary in that sense. But they're also inconsistent as well because they, of course, establish that if they don't see you as a threat, they won't do anything. So you should be able to go onto the ship and ask the ship questions about this technology or try and get it to analyze the technology. Of course, the only way to do that is to link with the mind, hive mind. So Zero decides to do that because he's already been a part of a hive mind and so forth. So, but he, of course, gets assimilated, and the Borg basically is like, well, we're not like why Janeway. None of this makes sense. The hologram Janeway wouldn't have allowed them to go on it because obviously the Borg is just going to assess the technology and find a way to use it. That's exactly what they do. They basically say, we are going to assimilate this and use it to help us because that's what we do. We're the Borg, and Janeway knows that. So of course the Borg wake up. They start attacking them. They fight them. Gwen gets away for some reason. The rest of them sacrifice themselves for Gwen to get away. And Gwen's hiding, and Janeway is like, put your weapon down, don't be a threat, they won't respond to you. I'm like, they've already established they're a threat. That only works when you first encounter the Borg. Once you've done something and established yourself as a threat, they will keep coming and keep coming for you. So it makes no sense that they just ignore her. And she walks through, and one random Borg turns around and looks at her like, the Borg don't work that way. These people don't understand the Borg. They don't understand how this is supposed to work. Then there's no queen. None of it makes any sense. Janeway knows too much about the Borg to have not anticipated all of this. It's really the first script that is really written for children because it's stupid, in an insulting way. I mean, you don't have to write down to children. And you don't have to write down your episodes because it's a children's series. And my only problem with the series so far has been that it feels more like a Star Wars show. But the episodes have still been good. The show itself has still been good. But this episode was just an absolute fail. The only thing that was good about it was the visuals. All the interior shots of the Borg ship looked amazing. And it looked like they spent a lot of money on it, and it looked great. But the story was stupid. And I can't work out why this episode happened, how it happened. None of it makes any sense. And then how does Zero escape? Love. The love of the family. This is not Poltergeist 2. This the love of the family makes him glow pink, and he just knocks all the Borg out and unassimilates himself. And then they all basically run away from the Borg and go back to the ship and just fly off, and the Borg doesn't even follow them because they're all asleep because he knocked them out with his pink energy or something. I just can't. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I just assume this is a fluke bad episode and the next episode will be good because they just wanted to use the Borg, so they had to write a stupid story to do it because there's no way to do it intelligently. But that hasn't stopped anything Discovery or Picard's done, canon violation wise. So yeah, first bad episode. Just going to look forward to the next episode because all the other ones before this were good. I'm going to go. Bye.